All right. So we've got our second of 3 squares between Venus and Uranus. We had our first one on July 2nd. So some of these things that I'm talking about here may be a little bit of a throwback because right now Venus is retrograde. And so this is the second square to Uranus. This is her retrograde square. And our third will be at the end of September. So this is kind of a theme that we're working with here. And Uranus is really sort of informing some of the themes that are coming up for us on this Venus retrograde about breaking some deeply ingrained relationship patterns, deviating, creating some new energy in the relationship dynamic. We want freshness. We want to experiment. We want to push ourselves out of our comfort zone, or maybe something else, some other force is sort of pulling us out of our comfort zone, whether it's someone else or a situation. But yeah, Uranus is all about stirring that honey pot. So we are definitely kind of shaking things up here. So this can create some fireworks in the relationship front. So there can be, maybe they're enjoyable fireworks. Maybe they're bringing us joy. This is exciting. Ooh la la. Maybe there's a little bit of commotion here because Uranus, as I said, it kind of stirs the pot, and sometimes it's in a good way and sometimes it's in a not so comfortable way. Sometimes there's shocks and upheavals that come with a configuration like this. One thing that this configuration hates is stagnant energy. So if there is something that's been kind of upsetting you in your relationship dynamic, something that's kind of been eating you away, something that you've been bringing up or maybe letting it slide for a long time, Venus in a square to Uranus might say, I'm done. I'm done dealing with this. Can we find a way around this? Uranus is also really good for illumination, bringing things to light. There can be this big oh my God, I never saw it like that before, where it gives us kind of a liberating solution to a long time issue. So yeah, it can also help us, work together with our partners or our business partners or our friendships. It doesn't have to be the romantic relationship. It could be any kind of relationship here. But this can help us find some big breakthroughs. But it's often not so smooth with Uranus. I mean, sometimes it is. It's like, oh my God, I never saw it like that before. How liberating that is. But sometimes we got to create a little bit of commotion here with Uranus. We can't be afraid to kind of tear down the block tower and start it again. So yeah, there can be some surprises coming up with Venus square Uranus. There can be sudden breaks. There can be splits, but also sudden advancements in relationships. This is just as much a breakup energy as it is, hey, let's get married kind of energy. Let's just go do it. Let's go do the thing. There can be big breakthroughs, but also breakdowns. So yeah, thinking about how this Venus retrograde is going at this point. So this is August 9th. We're not quite halfway through the retrograde, but we're getting very close. We've got the Kazemi coming up just a few days from now. So we're deep within this Venus retrograde. And so there may be some issues that have been kind of coming up. This is the time. This is the time where there's maybe a breaking point in the story, where the glass gets smashed. And so yeah, what has Venus and Leo shown you that you need to break? What has Venus and Leo shown you needs to go so that you can be more authentically yourself? What has Venus in Leo, Venus retrograde Leo, shown you needs to go so that you can have more of an open heart and more open line of communication and feel that two-way circuit of exchange going and feeding each other's warmth? So yeah, Venus in a square to Uranus can be a big breaking point in this story, but it can also be a moment of liberating breakthrough and the opportunity to create a new pattern. So I hope this second of 3 squares is awesome for you. I hope that liberating component is the loudest piece for you. And I hope it feels good. I hope that this transit feels good for you. I hope it's not too uncomfortable. But if it is, hopefully it's a freeing one. Anyhow, that is your Venus square Uranus astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Timing with transits, my 11-week mentorship in Predictive Technique begins on September 21st. We're covering transits, we're covering perfections. We've got a blend of live and pre-recorded tutorials and ongoing support throughout the program. So if you want more information on that or you want to snag that early bird rate, head to my website, katherineurban.com.